friends? Welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing well. We are going to be having some fun today because I have the BK Beauty and Nikki LaRose brush set. And don't worry, friends, I got you guys. This is going to be your complete guide to all of the brushes that are in this set. I'm going to demo each brush, review each brush, tell you how I prefer to use each of these. And of course, I'm also going to be comparing these brushes against the ones in the existing BK Beauty line. So if you want to hear my thoughts, then keep watching. Okay, party people, let's get into it. By the way, if you have never heard of BK Beauty before, allow me to introduce you to this brand. They make beautiful, high quality, luxurious, synthetic makeup brushes. I'm a huge fan of the brand. I love the quality of their brushes. This set is in collaboration with the wonderful Nikki LaRose. She is a creator here on YouTube. I'll link her channel down below, but she also has been a professional makeup artist in the industry for years. So she designed this kind of with like that pro mindset. This isn't necessarily going to be your starter makeup brush set. If you have no brushes in your collection, this isn't going to be maybe for makeup beginners. This is going to be the set that helps you take your makeup to the next level. You guys are going to see in the demos, these are very multi-purpose. They also give you just a little bit more precision with your makeup. It's a really cool set. I am going to go through each of the brushes one by one, friends. This is sold as a set right now, $480 on the BK Beauty website. But usually what happens is that BK Beauty, a couple months later, they will sell the brushes individually. So I want this to serve as a guide for all of the brushes that you guys can refer back to. Now, I also want to be doing comparisons with what is in the BK Beauty main line. And one of the reasons for that is because, well, number one, a lot of you guys have BK Beauty brushes, but also BK Beauty is doing their Black Friday sale right now. They're going to be having 20% off site-wide. This is not going to be in the sale. So I want you guys to figure out, do you want to maybe get one of the existing brushes on sale, or do you want to pick up this set? You can get 10% off this set and on BK Beauty just kind of year round with my coupon code. So I am going to be linking my coupon code down below in the description box, friends. And I'm also going to be linking all the brushes that I mentioned, any of the makeup that is on my face. It's all going to be in the description box. I do use affiliate links, so if this video is helpful and you want to support my channel, shopping through my links is a really great way to do so, friends. And finally, because I know this is a super long intro, this brush set, it was gifted to me by BK Beauty. I want to be fully transparent with you guys. This is not sponsored in any way. I'm not obligated to talk about this brush set. And you guys will notice I always share with you the pros and cons, what I recommend, what I don't recommend. So this review is going to be 100% honest. So let's get into it. All right, friends, let's kick things off with my favorite brush in the collection, the N16 Multi-Pro Face. What can you not use this brush for? This is such a slam dunk. Let me show you guys a close-up of the shape of this brush. Not only is it flat, but it also is wide, and most importantly, friends, it is wispy and airy at the top. So what is this going to allow you to do? It's going to allow you to pick up a good amount of product, but then it also allows you to very elegantly and professionally shear it out. And it's not a huge brush as well, so it's going to be precise. You can get it just where you need it. Let me show you how I use this brush today. The first thing that I used it for was for applying my foundation. Here I'm using the Chantecaille Future Skin Foundation. This little brush fits perfectly into the little jar, so I can kind of scoop the product out. And you see me here painting on thin, very natural layers of the product, and then I'm able to kind of build it up just in the areas that I need it. If you ever have any issues with your makeup kind of maybe caking up, settling into fine lines, this is going to be the perfect natural foundation brush for you. I feel like a lot of times we accidentally apply just a little bit too much. Maybe our brush picks up a lot of product. If you're somebody that wants that very natural finish, or you don't like to wear a lot of makeup, once again, this is going to be the perfect tool for that. I also think that you can use this for concealer because it has this kind of flat shape and wispy top. You can fit it into all of the little nooks and crannies in your face, under the eye here, around the nose, down the nose, around the mouth. I think you could totally get away with that. And because it's wispy, it really allows you to kind of blend that out in a sheer manner. What else can we use this for? We can use this for setting powder. It's great for just kind of dipping into a pressed powder, lightly dusting it across the face. It's very precise. So once again, only where you need it. I also use this today for my cream blush. I really like this for cream blush. I probably wouldn't use it personally for powder blush because I like something a little bit like bigger and fluffier for that. But for cream blush, I think it's great. Once again, guys, remember, these are synthetic brushes, so you can use them for creams and liquids and they're not going to fall apart. They're very hardy and good quality. I've already washed these like 2 or 3 times and they're still perfect. And same thing with all of my other BK Beauty brushes. I go into the blush, I kind of just apply it to the apples of the cheeks, and this brush really helps me sheer it out in a natural way. A lot of times we're kind of afraid to go into cream blush because we don't like know how to blend it, or we are afraid that it's going to be super pigmented. This is going to be a fantastic tool for that. And finally, guys, I also used this for cream highlighter. I'm using the RMS Living Luminizer here. I go into the little pot and I just dab a little bit on the tops of the cheekbones. You can certainly use your finger for these purposes, but I'm a brush girl, guys. I don't like to dip my finger into those pots all that much. So this really helps me kind of get that on the tops of the cheekbones and blend it out so it's not like that awkward streak on my face. By the way, if you are new here, hi, welcome. My name is Sophia and I love luxury beauty. I upload new videos every single week focusing on luxury beauty. I do a lot of new makeup reviews, helpful tutorials and guides just like this one. So if that is your jam, hit that subscribe button to join our fam because we would love to have you on this wholesome little corner of the internet. And with that, friends, let's get on with the rest of this review. Let's do some brush comparisons now with the N17, shall we? So right here, I have the 113. I picked these brushes because they are both flat and they both kind of have that wispiness there at the top. However, I do think that they are different enough that you can have both of them. The 113, it is smaller, so I really wouldn't use it for like cream blush or anything like that. I like to use this more so for powder products, for kind of finishing, you know, around the nose, setting like concealer and that kind of stuff in the tear duct region. This is more of like a powder finishing brush for me, whereas this one, like I said, I would probably use it more so with cream products. Now, I also want to show you guys a comparison with the BK Beauty 109. This is one of their most popular brushes. I do highly recommend you check this one out. However, I think it gives you a different kind of application compared to the N17. This is going to be denser, so you're going to get more coverage. If you're using this for concealer, it's just going to be like more pigmented, depositing more into that spot. If you're using this for cream blush, once again, you can really build up the color a lot more. This is going to be for the same purposes, but it's going to give you a little bit more of like a sheer finish. So kind of think about what type of application you're looking for and choose, you know, do you want something that's a little bit sheerer and airier, more natural, or do you want the ability to like really pack on the color? I recommend getting both of them because I think these are two of my favorite BK Beauty brushes of all time. But if you could only get one, that is my advice to you. I also have right here the 107. I picked this one out because this is another one of their sort of medium-sized powder brushes that is airy at the top. There's a little bit of flatness there as well, but this is the kind of thing that I like to use more so with powder blush. I just like something bigger and fluffier for my powder blush. I'm not being like as precise as I am when it comes to the cream blush. So personally, I would use this more for powder products and I would use this one more so for cream products. Next up, we have the N16, and this is the Pro Concealer brush. I think this one is probably my second favorite in the collection. Let me show you guys a close-up of this cute little wispy brush. It is quite small. It's a very precise detail brush. And what you guys will see is that this has a duo fiber shape. So some of the bristles are going to be shorter and some of them are going to be longer and wispier. So just like the N17, I'll show you guys a comparison right here. It has that very similar shape where it's great for picking up the product, applying it precisely, but shearing it out for a really beautiful natural finish so that you're only applying as much as you need. You can kind of apply it in layers. It fits perfectly kind of right there under the eye, in the tear duct region, around the nose, all of the little nooks and crannies of the face. This is the perfect complement to the N17. I really am enjoying these shapes that she created, and I really like using these for cream products. So naturally, guys, of course, I did use this for concealer today. It's really easy to apply, easy to sheer out and blend. If you feel like you are getting kind of makeup gathering in like your fine lines and wrinkles, this is going to be great for you. It's going to help you kind of buff all of that out so that you don't have too much product sitting in some of those problem areas. The other way that I really, really like to use this is with cream and liquid eyeshadows. So I used one of the RMS eye lights today, and this is just the perfect size to wispily buff that color all over the lid for a really easy one and done kind of look. I don't feel like it gets streaky or problematic or anything like that. You just dip it into the product, you wisp it all over the eye, and you're done. It is so, so perfect. Another way that I really like to use this, I don't know if this is weird, and obviously you might want more than one brush, but I really like this for kind of skincare application as well. Do you guys have that one little jar of eye cream that you just cannot, like, I have longer nails that you just can't get the product out of? I like to take this, go into the jar, and then just kind of gently spread the eye cream underneath my eye. It feels so luxurious. It feels like I'm at a spa. I also like to use this for lip balm. I'm going into some of the Jones Road Miracle Balm right here in Dusty Rose, swirl it around, apply it to my lips. So, you know, if you guys have this brush, or maybe in the future, if you have multiples, you can kind of save it for some of those skincare purposes as well. Couple of comparisons here with the N16. So right here, I have the A506, the very popular Angie Hot and Flashy concealer brush. Now this one is going to be similar to the 109, but smaller. It's got that sort of thumbprint shape. People really like this because it makes it really easy to apply concealer right under the eye, just in the places that you need it. Very similar to the N16. I would say the biggest difference with these is that this is probably going to give you a little bit more coverage. If you have very dark circles, this is going to really help you get a lot more pigment in there. Whereas this one, it's going to give you more of like that natural finish. You can sheer out the product a little bit more easily. In fact, what I've done is that I'll go in with this brush, apply the concealer because I do have rather dark circles under my eyes. And then I'll take this one and I'll just go in some of those problem areas where the makeup will kind of settle. So for me, it's like these lines right under my eye. And I just kind of go in there and like buff everything out so that the makeup doesn't settle there. So it really just depends, friends, if you want more coverage or if you want something a little bit more sheer. I also have right here two brushes that I really like to use for cream eyeshadow application, just to show you as maybe like, you know, some alternatives. So right here I have the 205 and the 206. These are a great size. The 206 in particular, it has that wispy top that's great for blending cream eyeshadow. They're a little bit smaller than the N16. They're all good brushes, guys. I'm just showing you this so that you can kind of figure out, you know, which one you like. I would use any of these for cream eyeshadow application. Once again, though, the N16, it has this really wispy top. So it kind of helps you get more of like that airbrushed look and kind of able to sheer it out, able to layer it up. Next up, friends, we have the N15, the Precise Medium Powder Brush. Now, I don't dislike this brush, but I would say this one is probably my least favorite in the collection. I just don't tend to reach for these shapes all that much, and I think it's because it's not big enough to be kind of like a bigger, fluffier powder brush that I like to use for all over powder, for bronzer, and powder blush, but it also isn't small enough to be more of like a precision brush, if that makes sense. I think that this works really well for setting powder, I do, but there's also a lot of other brushes in this set that are good for setting powder, so it's a little bit redundant. Today, I use this for powder bronzer, and you guys will see it works perfectly well, especially if you have a luxury bronzer. I'm using the Gucci one in this case, and I feel like it blends beautifully across the face. I do like the fact that this is great for kind of getting it right there into the hairline so that it looks a little bit more natural. It works perfectly fine, guys. It's just my personal preference is to have something that's a little bit like wider and fluffier. The dense bronzer brush from BK Beauty, I feel like that's the one that I normally like to reach for. So once again, just my personal preference. You can use this for setting powder, you can use it for bronzer, you could use it for powder blush, but I like something that is just like a little bit wider. I wouldn't use this for cream blush. I would go in once again with the N17. I think the way that I like to use this one the most is for powder highlighter because it is a little bit chubbier, but it's also precise. It allows you to get the highlighter onto the cheekbone and buff it out in a much more natural way. You're not going to get that kind of like streak of highlighter that you forgot to blend out. You can very easily apply it just where you want, but then again, kind of like shear it out so it's not too bright. And here we have some comparisons, friends. I have for you here the 108, the 110, and then once again, the N15. These two brushes in the BK Beauty collection, they're the ones that I reach for the least. Once again, it's just my personal preference. For whatever reason, I just never reach for this type of shape. I see people using these for concealer. I see people using them for powder, for highlighter, all those types of things, but I just don't reach for them quite that much. You can see that the shapes, they're pretty similar. The 108 is a little bit wispier, so I think that one is probably better for kind of like setting powder, maybe highlighter, and this one right here, the 110, I think that one is better for concealer. If you were looking for something just bigger, maybe a little bit more multi-purpose, then I think the N15 is gonna be great. But if you were thinking that you were gonna use this for like the highlighter or the setting powder or for concealer, you might just want to go with one of the ones from the main line or stick with that one if you have it already. Now, I did film a demonstration of me using this brush for contour. I was using my Westman Atelier cream contour, and I think that it works, but I don't think it's like absolutely necessary. This is not the brush that I would use for cream contour. I think maybe a little bit better for powder contour if you really want to get in there under the cheekbone. The brushes that I like more for contour are definitely these two. This is the 101, which is big and chubby. It's very, very quick for me to blend out my contour with this big brush. And then if you want something more precise, once again, the 109, this is great for just kind of like getting right in there under the cheekbone. Next up, we have the N14, the Petite Precision Multitasker. You guys will see this is a very similar shape to the N15, where it is a precise brush. It's a little bit thicker in the middle, and then it's pointier at the top, so you can really fit into all the little nooks and crannies on the face. I do like that this one is very precise. I don't think that this brush is incredibly unique. I think it's a little bit dupeable. But that being said, this is the type of brush that I always have in my makeup bag because it's great for kind of fine tuning your makeup after you're done or setting your makeup just where you need it. Again, this is a trend. These brushes, they're very multi-purpose, but they're also very precise so that you can really get that professional application. The way that I like to use this the most is with setting my makeup. Just like I said, I like to go kind of around the eyes and the tear duct region, around the nose, because that's where my makeup usually wears off the most. For whatever reason, kind of around the nose. It's also really great for kind of cleaning up around the lip line if you went in with some BK Beauty lipstick like the one that I'm wearing today. I also think that this is really great if you want a more precise highlighter application. If you want to really pack on that shine and you want people to like really see that cheekbone pop, this is going to be great for that. You can use this to kind of like set your eyelids. If you went in with concealer like I did to cover up the little veins on your eyelids, you can go in with a little bit of powder and kind of prep your eye for the eyeshadow. So once again, I feel like this, it's a little bit dupeable, maybe with some other brushes that are in my collection, but I can never have enough of these because I'm constantly using them every time I do my makeup. Now, you already saw the comparison with the N15. Obviously, it is a lot larger, but it's a very similar shape. I do like the N14 better because it's more petite, more precise, a little bit more my speed. The other brushes that I have that are kind of similar are all bigger. So we have the 113, we have the 108 here, and the 110. See how all of those are bigger? I like this one because it is so petite and precise. It is unique enough that you can definitely get this and it's not going to be like any of the other BK Beauty brushes. I would say this is dupeable probably with other brushes from other brands, maybe like, I don't know, Sonia G, Wayne Goss, Chikuhodo, like all of those other Fude brands. I have a lot of brushes just like this, but if you like synthetic brushes and if you really like BK Beauty, I do think that this one is probably a must-have. Next, we have the N13, and this is called the Precision Pro Blender. This is a really nice brush, but I do think that this one, it's a little bit dupeable if you have a lot of crease brushes already in your collection. I don't think that this one is an absolute must-have. That being said, it's still a really nice brush, specifically if you want some really nice placement in the crease. Now, Lisa J, the founder of BK Beauty, she did say in her video kind of introducing these brushes that this one is really nice because it allows you to very easily pick up product, even if that product is a little bit hard to get out of the pan, and very precisely and kind of naturally place it in the crease. And I will have to say, That is true. I did use one of my Chanel palettes, Warm Memories, for the demo today. This one, I feel like it's never pigmented enough for me. So I do really like this brush for picking up some of those shades that I want to get just a little bit more pigment. And you guys know, if you are subscribed to my channel, you will know I really like to do a lot of like soft definition on the outer half of the eye to kind of really open up the eye. And I do like this brush for that. I think this is probably my favorite BK Beauty brush for doing that type of look. Just a little bit of like soft definition in the outer corner that I do for pretty much all of my very natural looks. This brush is going to be really great for that. You could also use this as like a precise little powder brush. I probably wouldn't do that. I would probably use the N14 more so for that, but you definitely can. Any crease brush that you have, you can also use for setting powder. And right here for comparison, friends, I have all of the BK Beauty crease brushes. I know after a while, these kind of all start to look the same, but they are different. You know, this one right here, it's a little wider at the top. This one's a little bit more like rounded and fluffy. This one has shorter bristles, so they are a little bit different. I would say the biggest difference with this one from the new set is that it's a little bit thinner, it's a little bit more precise, but it still has that kind of top that is round and fluffy, so you can get a good blend. You can get a nice, precise blend, just like I was saying. Is it an absolute must-have? No, I think you could, I think you can get along with the other crease brushes in the collection, but it is really nice if you want a more precise application. Next up, friends, we have the N12, the Ultimate Smudger. Now, this is going to be a small, densely packed, flat, firm little brush that's going to be great for, number one, applying eyeshadow to the lower lash line, or also, like I did today, for smudging out eyeliner. I applied one of my favorite Chanel eyeliners, and then I just went in with this to kind of just blend it out so that it looks a little bit more natural, but I still get some definition along the lash lines. This is great if you want to rock more of like that smoky, soft grunge type of trend that's been going around, but it's also good for very natural looks like the one that I'm using today. Now, I will show you guys a comparison here with the 204 smudger brush for BK Beauty. This one's going to be a little bit smaller, shorter, narrower. I think I like this one more so for kind of like the inner corner because it really fits in there nicely. If you have kind of like a high shine shimmer that you want to apply there, this is going to be really great for that. I do think that this one, the 204, it's a little bit more precise if you want to sort of smoke out your eyeliner into a wing. What I like about the N12 is because it's wider, it's great for those like quick, lazy types of eye looks. It's more of like a one swipe and go type of situation. So I think that's what I appreciate about this. Do you need both of them? Like if you're on a budget, if you're really trying to figure out which one to get, I don't think you need both of them. I honestly think I probably would go for the 204 because I think that more precise is usually better, but it's up to you guys. That's kind of how I like to use each of them. And lastly, we have the N11, the Ultimate Angle. Now, where the Ultimate Smudger was really great for kind of like smoking out and smudging along the lash line, this is going to be really great if you want more precision around the lash line. This is going to be a very densely packed, kind of flat, firm, angled brush. So it's great for drawing a more precise eyeliner. If you want to kind of wing things out, get a little bit more graphic, this is going to be great for that. This is also good if you want to sort of define your brows. You could use it as a brow brush. You could even use this for kind of like cleaning up the lip line. I really like these types of brushes for that as well. I use this today to create more of like this little soft wing in the corner here. I went into my Natasha Denona eyeshadow palette in one of the deepest shades, and I just use this to create that wing. Now, in comparison here, friends, I have the 208 from BK Beauty, and of course, these are pretty different. The 208 is so much smaller. It is a lot more precise. If you were to ask me which one do I like better, I do like the little 208 better because you just can't go wrong. Like it's so small. You're gonna get the perfect, most defined little line. Whereas I feel like with this one, while I do like it for like really packing on the eyeshadow, if I'm gonna be creating a wing, I kind of feel like I have to clean up a little bit underneath to get more precision. I will probably end up using this more so like to clean up around the brows because I do that every day, and also like right here around the lips to really like snatch the lip line. That's probably what I will be using this one for a little bit more compared to the 208. Time for my final thoughts, friends. I know I shared what I thought about each individual brush, but I do want to just take a step back and share my thoughts about purchasing this as a set, because it's only sold as a set at the time of me filming this video. It's not going to be in the Black Friday sale, and even with my 10% off discount, it's still a lot of money for a brush set, so I want to help you guys out. Now, if you are a makeup enthusiast, if you love applying your makeup, you want to get a little bit more artistic, a little bit more precise, you use your makeup brushes a lot, I think you're really going to like this set, and I absolutely think it is worth paying that price. It's very good quality. I really like the shapes that she created. I think Nikki LaRose and BK Beauty did a fantastic job with this set, but the purpose of this video is to help you guys figure out which of these brushes would you realistically reach for. A lot of times people buy sets because they're just like, I'll just buy the set. It's gonna have everything that I need. And then they get the set and they realize like half of the brushes they don't really reach for. That's kind of the curse of buying sets sometimes. So this video is supposed to help you figure out which of the brushes are you actually gonna reach for so you don't kind of have that experience. So think about the demos that I did and ask yourself, do you really just want one of the brushes in here? Do you really just want 2 or 3 of them? Because if that is the case, I recommend those brushes, but I would probably wait until they are sold separately because you know that's coming. I don't know that for sure, guys, but I'm assuming that these are going to be sold separately. Maybe like, I don't know, 6 months from now, you're going to have to wait. But that is my hypothesis right now. That's my prediction. I also did all of the comparisons, friends, so that you could maybe figure out if there's another brush from the main line that will be in the Black Friday sale that would suit your needs and make you just as happy. If you are a makeup beginner, if you don't have a brush set already, I would recommend buying the ones from the main line because those are going to be more like everyday starter beginner types of sets. These are going to be more so, once again, for kind of like precision, upping your game. So that's my recommendation, guys. I really like this. I do think it's worth it, but don't buy a brush set unless you think you're going to use most of the brushes. So there you have it, friends. That is my review. I absolutely love makeup brushes and I love reviewing them for you all. So I hope that this video was helpful. Make sure you are subscribed to my channel because I have more new makeup reviews and other brush related videos coming up very, very soon. And if you like this video, please don't forget to give me a big thumbs up and sound off in the comments down below. I really want to know, did you pick this up? What do you think about it? What do you think of the price? You know, what do you think of the Black Friday sale? What are you getting? Please let us know because your opinion is worth just as much as mine. And with that, friends, I hope that you see some beauty in your day and I will see you in my next one. Goodbye.